Good morning, traders. This is Brad Matheny. Today is February 13th, Monday morning. I'm going to try to take a look at the SPY cycle patterns, which I've made some changes to last weekend. Thank you, Verity, for helping me out with some suggestions. Number one, the time cycle patterns are now identified here. When a time cycle becomes valid, these will become green, these little dots. And that tells us that we're shifting everything one forward. When it becomes invalid, it will go back to red. Remember, time cycles stay on until the weekend, until the first Saturday or Sunday. If they occur on a Saturday or Sunday, they are ignored. So what happened here is we had a time cycle here on Monday. It pushed everything forward to this day. And then at this day, it went back to a regular SPY cycle pattern, and now we're in this rotation. I've also highlighted weekends here so you can see where we're at, and that gives you an idea of where we're at, which cycle patterns occur on the weekend. So this week we have essentially rotation, top resistance, consolidation, inside breakaway, and then breakaway. Then we get a carryover, crush, flat down, pop, which indicates we could see some volatility early next week in this flat down pop, base rally, and then a harami. So this is a pop, could be either direction, crush could be either direction. It's typically dependent upon what's taking place in the trend and what the momentum is. So this crush on a Sunday may carry into early trading or be some event over the weekend. This pop here on the 21st indicates more than likely an upside push, an upside pop, particularly indicated by this base rally formation, a harami inside, and then another crush. These crush patterns on the weekend can bleed into the next day. So you could see we have a breakaway here, we have a carryover and a crush. So a breakaway, inside breakaway, breakaway, carryover, crush. To me, that's trending, 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 trending. Then we have a flat down day, then we have a pop, then we have a blank day, then we have a base rally, harami inside day, and then a crush. This is basically flat down, big volatility, unknown, could be anything. Base rally indicates we may set up some sort of a low price level that becomes a base or a momentum base, leading to some sort of a rally. We may have actually set it up the day before, inside harami, meaning that we're going to see a sideways day, and then a crush, which could have bled into the 24th here. So now let's take a look at this. So essentially, this is the SPY chart. Let me spread it out. And what I'm seeing here, ladies and gentlemen, is a general price structure. Upper waves move in this format about 30.5 points. Generally, you can see I've replicated these lines. They move generally in about 30.5 points, back down to this resistance, and then back up here to this 30.5 points. And we're moving into this time frame right now, this is the current week. So if I were to presume that we're going to enter into a cycle phase over the next week, in fact, let me come down here to 4 hour. If I were to presume that we're going to enter into a cycle phase this next week, following this rotation, top resistance, consolidation, inside breakaway, breakaway, let me mark this day, the 16th, which is right here. Let me go back down to hourly, give us a little bit more data. And remember, folks, what I'm trying to do here is assist you in learning how to use these patterns. So we're using traditional technical analysis, and we are going to try to predict what's going to happen. So I'm going to mark the 16th, which is the inside breakaway. I'll come down here, get a vertical line, come over to the 16th. So 15th, 16th, let's mark it right there. And what we have is a rotation, top resistance, consolidation, and then an inside breakaway. So if we get rotation within a range, the rotation within the range today could be within this range. I would suspect it would be within this range today. That means that we would likely then see top resistance somewhere up over here. Let me try to draw it when I get the right tool. Now, hold on, folks. Let me find it. There it is. So we would get some sort of a top resistance around here, possibly. And that would lead us into consolidation, which may set up another tighter range, possibly between here and here, before we get into some sort of a breakout range over here, which would indicate to me, if we stay above these levels, potentially maybe getting down to these levels. So understand that when we get this top resistance and consolidation, we may see some sort of a rotation, maybe down in this area as some sort of a bottom. And if I were to hypothetically estimate where the base bottom would be, let's call it right over in this area, which would be the 14th top resistance, consolidation, inside breakaway. Yeah, that makes sense. Given the same structure, what we would be looking at is, come back over here, what we would be looking at, visual order, bring to front, is some rotation in this range, some consolidation, topping formation, possibly a deeper move down in here to this breakaway, inside breakaway pattern. Then we get into the breakaway carryover crush, which may rotate back up, breakaway carryover crush pattern back up into this cycle trend, maybe something like this. And let me change this. So ideally, ladies and gentlemen, what we have here is a cycle pattern indicating rotation, likely within this box range. That's this rotation and top resistance. So we could see this top resistance forming somewhere in this area, possibly up here. We could see a deeper low coming down into this area. So understand that at some point, we could see this area tested, and that's not exactly correct, but we could see this area tested kind of like that as we see these lows potentially set up some base or bottom. This would be a fairly big move. In other words, this would be a price anomaly. In reality, I kind of think more so that we are looking at these lower areas, or if I were to go back and try to look at price, we have these support areas, this gap area. Let me move this out of the way. This gap area, these lows, we have this resistance. I like to look around at dojis, so I would say hypothetically right around here would be our base bottom area for the markets going forward. Okay, I think that's going to be a more logical base bottom for the markets than this deep low here. So I'm going to highlight this as a different color. Maybe make this a light blue, because this is kind of an anomaly move here. But again, depending on where this low sets up, we have to watch this low. If this low sets up over here and we maintain this low level here, then our upper target on the SPY is all the way up to 435, which is right in my alignment. If the base level is down here, off of this low, then we're looking at 430, 431. But the next move here would hypothetically be some sort of a contraction. And you can see I've drawn the Fibonacci levels in here. So this blue level would be a fairly strong level for price to try to identify support. Additionally, this red level here would be another strong area to identify support. As we continue to move into this trend based on Fibonacci price theory, we have new highs, new lows, consolidation, new high, new low, consolidation, failed to break above new high, failure to get to a new continuation trend. We have a low here, we have a high here, we have a standout or unique high here. We consolidate, we break down to new lows. We are in a consolidation downward price cycle. And what we need to do is we need to see if these unique lows, remember, we're looking for unique lows. So this is over a period of 15 to 20 bars. Where do we get unique lows? So we have potentially a unique low right here. We have a very strong unique low right here. We have a strong unique low here, which I've highlighted. And then we have a fairly strong unique low right here. So ideally, we have to understand that as long as price stays above this level here, which is a Fibonacci range based on these consolidations, and this critical low right here, so we basically are looking at this low, and this low as critical market support. As long as we stay above the 400 level on the SPY, then we are in a consolidation phase. And again, I don't expect it to get much below this. It could dance around a little bit in the 397, 398 level before finding support. But it looks like we're going to start to find support around the 16th, which is right here. This red line is the 16th. So we've got a couple of days of consolidation, downward movement, maybe 4, 5, 6, 7% downside move, maybe into the 404, 402 area. Then I think we're going to find support and resolve back to the upside is what I believe is likely to happen. And that makes our next target 425 to 430, 435, and that would be near or likely to the end of March. So somewhere between March 15th and March 30th, roughly, we should be up in these areas over here, if my analysis holds true. Okay, so this is how you use this. You basically are trying to interpret what's actually going to happen in the market. Rotation can be fairly wide range. So understand I've drawn this fairly large box over here, indicating that we have a fairly broad range attempt at rotation. Then we get consolidation. So we get a big bar, then we get top resistance, and then we get consolidation. So top resistance could be anywhere up in this area. We could have some sort of a rotational range here. Top resistance back over here around the 14th, then rolling downward into consolidation. I believe that's going to be a consolidation period, possibly down to 404, 405, maybe 406. Then we get the inside breakaway. The inside breakaway could be a false move, moving a bit downward, but eventually resolving, I believe, to the upside. And then we get the breakaway, the carryover, the crush, the flat down, the pop, the base rally, so forth, so on. And that's what I believe will move us into the next phase higher. Okay, guys, I hope this helps. I've given you basically a couple of weeks worth of expectations with regard to the market. We're going to be looking at 7 to 10 days of really tight, fairly narrow trading. So be prepared. This is not going to be big trending until near the end of February. We start getting into the 23rd, 24th, 25th. I think we could see some bigger trending. For the next week or so, we're going to be fairly tight, fairly consolidated, and we need to get above these previous highs. So if we consolidate over here, we're going to get this type of a high right here. I'm trying to draw right there. That's going to become our next unique high. So that'll put us around 411, maybe 412, maybe 410. But that's going to become our next unique high. Then we have to break out this unique high and then eventually this unique high, and we will be off to the races for 430, 435. Okay, guys, talk to you soon. Hope you're enjoying.